I think I've heard of most of these before, but what's a blemmies? Essentially, a blemmies is a human without a head. A human without a head? How does that work? How do they eat? They have a head, they just have all their facial features on their chest. That's a rather weird mental image. Also a lot of half-creatures that share some characteristics with humans and other animals. Like mer-humans. Sure. Lastly, there are creatures that are said to be able to shapeshift into human form. Strangely enough, some of our dragon myths said that they could shapeshift into humans, or that certain countries' royalty are descended from dragons. That would imply that they are genetically compatible with humans. I guess. Sounds rather outlandish if you ask me. Certainly can't shapeshift like that. I suppose that's why they're just myths. Right, to be fair, we do have a lot of myths that seem quite out there as well compared to what you're like. Anyway, how come you know so much about myths? All part being an ambassador. Not only did I learn about dragon myths in order to compare them to what you're like, but I also studied myths about creatures that are similar to humans so I could find out how similar they were to yours. Well, you're doing an excellent job so far. It's bound to help me a lot with my game as well. You're going to put all that into the game? Let's just say it gives me some excellent material to work with. I thought you wanted to give an accurate portrayal of humans, not just collect myths. One species will certainly be modeled after you, but that doesn't mean we can't introduce some variety with the others. People would love if we also bring in some of the more unusual myths to life. I see. Since we also want each of the normal human characters to be unique, I'd like to know how much variety there really is within your species. I've seen Riza before, so comparing to you already gives me a bit of an idea. But how far do these differences go exactly? When you re-arrived here, you asked me if I was old enough to drink. That leads me to believe that your average human must be a lot taller. That's true. You could say Riza would be about average for an adult. Not that it would be impossible to get a good deal bigger than him or even smaller than you, but those cases are rather rare and usually a result of medical conditions. I see. What about colors? Are there any humans who are blue like me? Not really. There is a certain spectrum of skin colors that be lighter or darker. So far I've seen a lot more variety in the dragons here. I do have quite a number of different eye colors though. Interesting. As for things that aren't immediately visible, we also have different blood types, but I assume you already know about that. We certainly have those as well. Some people even believe your blood type influences your personality. That, on the other hand, is news to me. Anything else you want to know? Phew, we already got so much. I'll have to think about if and how we can work all this into the game. Have you worked on any other games before? I worked on a few smaller projects during the course of my studies and also interned at a studio before. This is on a completely different level though. How so? It's my game, so I'm the one calling the shots here. It's a very different thing than just making a few graphics when you're part of a bigger team for sure. I see. How long exactly have you been working on this? Phew, must be several months now. I've got everything planned out and a lot of the groundwork has already been done. The most difficult things are the characters themselves, and to make sure all the details are accurate. Of course. Have you shown the game to other people yet? Sure, feedback is a very important part of the development process, so I regularly gather ideas and opinions from others. I even made a website to do this. What do they say? All kinds of things, really. Sometimes it's hard to decide which ones have a good point and which can be disregarded. Overall, it seems there are many people who are looking forward to playing my game, though. What are we talking about? I don't know exactly. Count on my website only tracks the number of visits, so I don't actually know how many different people there are. What if it doesn't work out? What do you mean? Well, you're investing a certain amount of time and money into making this game. Ideally, you would make back your investment and hopefully get some profit on top of that. The goal is to make money, sure. However, I just wanted to try my hand at doing something like this. Some people are going to enjoy the end result, that's great. Don't forget that I also have made something I put on my resume. At the very least, it'll be a good learning experience. Looks like he's got the right ideas about taking a risk. With that attitude, I suppose you really don't have anything to lose. I mean, he does. But it's just not as much as someone who goes all in with the focus of, like, make success or bust. I can always look for another job. Maybe I'll end up working at a game studio. But I think once I've started doing something like that, I might not get this opportunity again. So it's now or never, huh? In a nutshell, yes. And that all works out with your courier job? Sure, I can support myself this way and not really under any pressure, since I don't have any deadlines to keep. God, I hate deadlines. Like, honestly, I feel like I get more work done when I don't feel the pressure of a time limit. But at the same time, I do still need something to remind me that I want to do the work. So, because, like, I can just forget it's something like, who knows, maybe one day I'll just suddenly forget how to work a doorknob. And then I'll just go on not understanding, like, I can't, how do I open this door? I am trapped here. Save me. Like, honestly, that's not too far off from some of the shit that I've done. Seems like you know what you're doing. I'd like to think so. What kind of tools are you using to make it? I consider what some of your species look like. I'm having a hard time imagining how the bigger ones could program a game. While we do have devices tailored to each individual species, I can't deny that my dexterous hands make it a lot easier compared to some of the others. One downside is I have to keep my nails short, or else using a keyboard gets a bit cumbersome. I imagine you have to be careful with those while working as a courier anyway. You're right about that. One wrong move and you suddenly shred the letter you were just going to hand to someone. That sounds unpleasant. Luckily, that kind of thing doesn't really happen to me anymore. Not only because of the short nails, but once you've worked there for a while, you just learn to be more careful. Sounds about right. It's a bit sad not to have them as a natural letter opener anymore, though. Not just for me. Some people ask me to open their letters for them, since doing that on their own can be difficult for some of the less dexterous and older ones. Have you been working as a courier for long? I just got this job a few months ago. I had a part-time summer job at the post office when I was growing up. My species is perfectly suited for the job, so they were glad to have me on board. I mean, you've got dexterity and flight. Yeah, I can imagine why your species would be perfect. And you can fit in some of the smaller spaces intended for smaller dragons. Yeah. I can see why. Of course, being able to fly is a big plus. My size means I can't deliver any big packages, but I often get assigned to urgent letters that have to be delivered as soon as possible. Huh, it's getting late. Maybe we should leave it at that for today. Yeah, I should probably head back to my apartment before it gets too dark. I got more than enough material to work with. Thanks a lot. Don't worry about it. I'll just consider it a public service. Honestly, I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity, especially after nearly getting denied by Sebastian when I met you. Just make the best of it. I certainly will! I really have to get going now, so maybe I'll see you some other time. Sure, have a good night. Take care. Nothing going on today. Guess I can do whatever. Alright. Both of these sound like passing time. Why are there two options for that? Uh... Is there anything for ordering lunch? Utterly pointless achievement. Do a thing. What? Okay, there's... Not saying anything for ordering lunch. So you know what? Let's meet with Bryce and then order some lunch. I didn't realize I quick saved this many times. I thought I like quick saved once. Okay. Whatever. Oh, it's supposed to go in this slot. And then push the rest back. Oh well. Meet with Bryce. Once again, I found myself within the police department, which seemed oddly quiet for this time of day. Didn't take me long to spot Bryce in his office. Hey, Cad, what's up? Nothing much. They told me to contact you if I could remember anything that might help with the investigation. That's right, what do you have for me? Not sure if it's worth mentioning, but I have known Riza for a couple of years, so I know some things about his personality. I see. Well, that's actually more helpful than you might think. Mannerisms, habits, all kinds of things will be useful to add to his profile and get a better idea of him. You know, I'm just about done here for a day, but if you want to discuss it over a beer or something, I'd be more than happy. I don't usually drink, though. It's fine, you don't have to. Maybe we'll find something you like. That sounds fair. Alright, let's go. Here we are. And just in time for happy hour. Do you come here often? Sometimes. Hey, you two, what can I bring you? Just the usual. One generic beer for the chief of police, sure thing. How about you, Cad? Everyone knows your name. Nothing yet, I'll have something later, I think. Noted, I'll be right back. It wasn't long before the waiter returned with the drinking bowl, as wide as it was tall, all filled to the brim with a foam-topped dark amber liquid. Carefully, he set down in front of Bryce, who didn't hesitate to take a big gulp. There you go, just call me if you need anything. Of course. So, what is it you want to tell me about Riza? There are a few things. I mean, they're probably not much, but anything might help, right? That's right. Anything unusual about him. Anything that defines his character or stands out about him could help us. How about you tell me what you know about him? Well, the earliest memory I have of him was when we both went to the same school. We only shared a few classes, though, and a couple of friends. Overall, I'd say he was an above-average student. He didn't talk very often, but he always was very outspoken and never failed to speak up to make his opinions known. He was the kind of person I'd fully expect to become a politician one day, or at least an activist of some sort. That's the impression I got from him. He spoke a lot, but you could also expect him to act on his word. Of course, his nature caused him to clash with others, sometimes including the school staff, though his genuine enthusiasm also garnered praise for them. He was quite a character. After we all graduated, I didn't hear anything about him for a long time. Only some years later, after we found the portal, was I surprised to find out he was the human who would be sent to your world. He had volunteered. It wasn't until I was already here that I actually met him again, however brief our interactions were. But then I already told you everything about what happened prior to the eventual scuffle with Maverick. There's only one thing that stands out to me about those events. The restaurant, when he told me about the letter, he mentioned I would know how to read its secret message. I know he values the use of his own intellect. When I received the letter later, he apparently fully expected me to remember a random chemistry class we had together years ago in order to see the message. I see, so you did not arrange this beforehand. Not at all, I had no idea. That is quite peculiar. I know, I still wonder what he would have told me if Maverick had interfered when we met at the portal. We do as well, and you can believe that. How's Maverick even allowed to intercept his letter and read it? He could have easily done so since he was in charge of Riza and everything, but he totally shouldn't have. I mean, we wouldn't do anything of the sort with you. Everything he has done in regard to Riza has been a poor show of character. I suppose so. In any case, thanks for telling me all this. You never know when this kind of information could be useful. No problem. Just when I thought an awkward silence might set in, Bryce spotted the waiter and didn't hesitate to speak up. Hey, waiter, bring me another! I hadn't noticed, but while I was talking, Bryce had been busy sipping on his drink. The empty bowl before him was proof of his proficiency. Here you go. Maybe I should be going now. Oh, come on, stay a little. Considering we're all here already, might as well enjoy the evening, right? I mean, you don't have to, but I certainly will. Or do you need to be somewhere? I guess I could stay for a little while. That's what I like to hear. Waiter, bring us another beer. Another one? This one's for you, silly. Really drink that. Oh, come on, just try a little. If you don't like beer, you haven't had like one like this one before. Well, considering the other option is just leave, you'll do yourself a favor. You know what? Why don't we have ourselves a drinking contest? Oh. I don't think I can beat someone like you. How about handicap then? I'll go easy on you. Not letting this go, are you? Just having fun! Alright, let's do this. Bryce lowered his snout, gulped down beer in an inhuman rate. The bowl drained rapidly. It was empty in an instant. Fair's fair. Considering they don't even have cars, at least I won't have to worry about drinking and driving. More simple. Both get around, and then we wait a few moments until the next one so the effects kick in. Whoever gives up first loses. Let's burn some brain cells. And may whoever burns more win. This is a true game of kings, I'm telling you. Alright, let's do this. His show looked at me in the eyes while he lowered his muzzle into the bowl before he started guzzling his drink noisily. It was gone seconds. Certainly, this was going to be tough. My confidence faltered, but there was no turning back now. How did I think I could win a drink contest against a freaking dragon? Nevertheless, I grasped the drink, played on the best show I could while I tried to recreate Bryce's feat. After the first sip, however, I realized it was very different from any other beer I had tried before. Yet I persevered through the intense taste until the glass was empty. Probably wasn't as impressive as Bryce had been just moments earlier. I couldn't afford to show any weakness. My plan was cut short, though, as I set down the glass, an unusually strong aftertaste hit me, causing me to make a face. How'd you like it? Look, this is some really strong stuff. I told you, you better know beforehand how much you can take, or I'll hit you harder later on. Want to give up already? Burn brain cells at this point. As you wish. So, when's the next round starting? Soon enough. Do you feel it? You feel the buzz kicking in already? Don't lie to me, I can see it in your face. Unless that's blushing I see and not the alcohol. Alright, it's a buzz. That's what I thought. Anyways, how do you like it here so far? I mean, compared to wherever it is that you came from. It's only a nice change from what I used to. Good to hear. Maybe next time we'll send a dragon over to your world. I'm surprised we haven't done that already. Just have ambassadors going both ways. That could be interesting. Waiter, bring us another round. Coming right up. Here you go. Having ourselves a little contest, are we? You know how it goes. That I do. Be careful, cat. He's a pro. Did I hear something about a contest? Maybe. Up to your shenanigans, I see. Now don't spoil the fun. I don't go around telling people about what you're up to either. Point taken. Enjoy. Of course he wouldn't have challenged me if he wasn't confident he would win. Guess I'll just have to try my best. I went first last time, so it's your turn now. The glass to my lips starts swallowing the dark amber liquid. I was struck by how much more difficult this round was compared to the first. One thing that always puzzled me about seasoned drinkers was the sheer amount of liquid they could ingest without issue. Keeping it down, however, was a much different question. This contest wasn't about keeping it down. There, your turn. I see you struggling there for a second. That's my tactic, make you think I'm struggling so you let your guard down. Roaring laughter erupted from the dragon's pulse, struck the table, rattling the chairs around it. Keep it up, kiddo. You still stand a chance you can make me die of laughter. For my turn, let me demonstrate. Again, he consumed his drink, though his swings were noticeably slower than before. Resolve was also fading, though not as fast as mine had, as he clearly held the advantage. So anyway, I could still turn this around. There! Now, let me ask you a question. I know you wanted to tell me all the stuff about Riza. Was that the only reason you wanted to meet with me? Maybe having a little fun doesn't hurt, right? Thought so, I won't disagree with that. Waiter, next round. Coming. Wait, did I just pick the romance option? There you go. Thanks. How are you holding up? Just fine, thanks for asking. If you say so. Good luck. Was it your turn or is it my turn? It's yours. Alright. And now it was obvious that Bryce was faltering, though he was still faring much better than I was. He even had to take a break in the middle of his beer, unable to down one go. Now, it's yours. He was a lot heavier than me. Those bowls held far more liquid than my glasses. I think I'd stand a chance against him. When I picked up my glass, I didn't have the feeling in my fingers anymore. I had to pause a few times, but in the end I made it, but I wasn't sure how much more I could take. So, what do we do now? Wait for you to throw up so I would? You wish. See, you're close. Just a question of time now, Sonny. Okay, yep. The background's gone blurry and started. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead. Why are you brown? Damn it, you don't just ask someone why they're brown. Don't you have, like, different colored people where you come from, or do they all look like you? You seriously look like a chocolate cream cake. Delicious chocolate cream cake. Can I taste you? Waiter, next round. There you are. Clearly, the dragon looked at me, seemingly unable to focus. I could see he was hitting his limits, but so was I. Maybe if I just held out a little longer. Whose turn is it even? I think it's mine. Good. When I had difficulties picking up my glass. About to give up, but I was sure if I just held on one more round it'd be over. Still win this. I had to wait a few moments after each sip in order to continue, but I did not give up till eventually glass was empty. Your move, Chief. First time I could see something in his eyes other than his always present confidence. Was it disbelief or insecurity? I guess my feet caught him off guard as he seemed genuinely impressed. Also hoping bluffing would work. Nothing else that showed me that even his own conviction was cracking now. I could totally win this. You're cute. I like you. I really do. But I sure as heck am not going to let you win. Struggling became more and more obvious as he tried to swallow the liquid in his bowl bit by bit. He stopped at one point, panting heavily. I considered taking a cheap shot at him, but as he had refrained from doing so during my turn, I wasn't going to start now. There. I was getting tired. I could hear Bryce's voice, but I could not make out the individual words anymore, so I had to rest my eyes just for a little bit. And good night. Hey, are you okay? You fell down. You look kind of messed up. Yeah. Good to hear that. Ready for another round, or do you give up? I think I better stop here. Guess I'll just have another secure my victory then. It was fun watching you all, but you've both had enough for the evening. think you'd better leave now, after you've come out from under the table, that is. Alright, I'll be going then. Wait a minute. What is it? Maybe you should go with him, just to make sure he gets home safely and doesn't do anything stupid, you know? Kind of an unspoken rule here that whoever is his drinking buddy does so. Looked over to him and discovered Bryce had passed out for the moment. This could prove difficult. Fine. Thank you. Come on, let's get you home. He is still unconscious. Isn't it actually a bad idea to dump water on the head of a drunk? But people do it anyway because it works. This should do the trick. Was that you, kid? Where am I? Still in the bar. Come on, let's get you home.